Yo, good people. Listen, man, welcome back to Fresh Perspective. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much for coming and for coming back because some of you are new. I'm even new to this. Like I'm just coming back to it. I was big doing podcasts for a while, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to do video. So yeah, this is still new to me. So give me some grace, y'all. Like I said, I'm just at the crib, nothing too fancy. Just want to share some things with you guys, and I know you tuned in for the topic. But before we get to the topic, this is brought to you by Verb Society. As you can see, Cap is at an all-time high. Please stay low. If y'all don't know what cap is lies. Come on now. Y'all got to get with the times. So when the young folks say, that's cap, that's what they saying. So if you over, 40, 50, you don't know what that means, just come on now. Get with it. So the goal of Verb Society is to inform the lost. Let's see if we got the focus. Let that thing focus. There we go. Inform the lost and remind the found. You see that? Inform the lost and remind the found. Hurry up, put that on my hat, on my head real quick because my hair ain't cut. Had to get right. Thank you, Verb Society, for blessing your boy. You already know. But who is the lost? The lost are anybody who does not know Jesus. So they're trying to find answers in everything else. That was once me, right? Inform the lost. Remind the found. Who is the found? The found are those who know Jesus and forgot about the lost, right? The people who came over to that side and, I'm good now. I'm good. Forget everybody else. Nah, that's not the goal. It's to inform the lost and remind the found. Remind the found of what? Remind the found that, hey, these people need Jesus just like you did. Don't forget about them just because you're good now, just because you don't have depression anymore, just because you don't have anxiety anymore. We're not about that. Verb Society is just that. Proverb Society. Give them wisdom. Give society wisdom. So, all right, got that out the way, right? Now you know what Verb Society is all about. So, I know you tuned in for the topic, and I got you. 4 of the hardest words for every human to say. And I know what you're thinking. He didn't just say for every man to say. He didn't just say for every woman to say, every child to say. You said 4 of the hardest words for every human to say. I got to see what this is about. I got you. Well, first of all, where do I get this idea from that I know 4 of the hardest words for every human to say? Honestly, I got it from experience. I get a chance to mentor a lot of different people. We get a chance to do marriage counseling with a lot of different people, and just one-on-one counseling with a lot of different people, right? And I promise you, these stats are accurate. It's for every human. It's hard to say, right? And I'm going to lead you into it. I ain't going to give it to you all up front, but I'm going to give it to you like this. What's one of the first words after dada or mama for a baby to say? One of the first words that they say is what? Mine. You know what I'm saying? They know that does not have to be taught to them at all. None whatsoever. They a baby and they know what's theirs. Mine. Well, because of that mentality that no one had to teach us, these are 4 of the hardest words for us to ever say. And those 4 words are, drum roll. Now, I'm not going to keep you waiting. Those 4 words are, you owe me nothing. You're like, what? Those are the 4 hardest words? I promise you it's the 4 hardest words. Some of you got it already. Some of you have not. So the topic we're talking about is forgiveness. Being able to forgive. Now you're probably like, oh, okay, yeah, I got you now. And I'm going to tell you from my story. My grandmother, who I love dearly, that was my baby, that was my heart. She told me something in the right way, but because of my immaturity, I caught it in the wrong way and came up with my own philosophy. So my grandmother used to tell me I was a kid who didn't have the best situations growing up sometimes. And when I say the best, I was well provided for. So I'm not saying that. What I mean is I went back and forth from my grandmother's house to my mama's house, back and forth, different things like that. So I had some teachings from my mom and some teachings from my grandma. Now, I wasn't the best child. I was pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? So not that I know that comes as a surprise for some of y'all, but I wasn't the best child. But all of that being said, my grandmother told me, she said, baby, listen, you forgive people and God will get them. And I was like, okay, I like the way that sounds, because what she meant was, older people, when they say something, you got to catch what they mean by it. You know, it may not be exact scripture, but you got to know what they mean by it. I was very immature. I wasn't even saved. I wasn't thinking about God at all. So when it came to when it came to that topic, when she said, "Forgive people, God will get them," what I thought is, all right, you forgive them and you sit there and you wait on God to get them. It was like I was sitting there like waiting. All right, God, you ain't got them yet. What's going on? Like they still prospering. Get them. Hurry up and get them. You're like, I want to see them fall. That is not at all what forgiveness looked like. So because I was immature, when I did get saved, when I forgave somebody, that is exactly how I forgave. And some of you can relate. Some of you have heard the word forgiveness your whole life, but don't exactly know how to do it. I can relate. Quick story. I was maybe about, I don't know, I would say 25, 26 years old. So when I got saved, I was at 26, learning things about the Bible, but I knew that. I thought I knew how to forgive, I thought I knew how to forgive. And the situation happened where God told me to forgive somebody. I was like, all right, bet, I got that. I know how to do that. I had no clue. And I didn't understand why, not just anger, but hatred. It was years of having something in my heart against somebody. And so when I got saved, I knew I needed to forgive, and I thought I did, but it was like a cycle where if I would say the words, I forgive them. But something was still here. Some of you can relate to me better than others. Like you're saying the right stuff, but you like something's still there, right? And so that's exactly what I was doing. It was like a cycle. I'm like, yo, why can I not truly forgive this person? The words are coming out, but nothing's coming out my heart. You know what I'm saying? So I heard a sermon by an awesome lady. It's funny how God used a woman to teach me the first time in my immaturity and a woman to teach me to help me become mature. So my grandmother taught me the way, and she taught me right, but I took it the wrong way. Then a woman by the name of Lisa Bevere, awesome woman of God. I was listening to a podcast one day, and I always listen to her husband, John Bevere, but this time Lisa was teaching, and I was listening to her, and she was talking about that topic. And she said, true forgiveness is being able to say, I forgive you, you owe me nothing. Y'all, as simple as that sounded, it was the hardest thing in the world for me to do, because the whole time I was waiting on God to get them because they owed me something. Some of you, I'm telling you, some of y'all can feel something right there now, right? Because this person hurt me, so you owe me something. This person molested me, so you owe me something. This person might have hurt my heart, might have done something to a family member. You owe me something. And so this is why it is the 4 hardest words to ever utter out of your mouth. You owe me nothing. Think about it for a second. Just do a thing with me right quick. The person that offended you. Just think about it. Close your eyes. Just for a second. Picture that person in your mind. Picture that person in your mind. Just picture him. I'll give you some time. Picture him. Do you feel that? The person that hurt you. If you feel something there, anger rising up, maybe rage rising up, then you need to be able to forgive them and not just get past it. Because a lot of us think that forgiveness is just getting past it, like get over it. I still speak to them when I see them. No, see, the thing is, what you got to know about forgiveness is God forgives us according to how we forgive others. It's in the Our Father's prayer. So you got to know this. You got to know this and apply it. Because here's the thing. How many things have you needed forgiveness of? Be real. I know me, I had a bucket load of them. Like just, you know what I'm saying? Filled to the rim and overflowing. I needed to be forgiven, but I didn't want to forgive a person for 1 or 2 things that they did to me. Because, why should I? I'm right. And one of the things that God told me is, son, that person did that to you. That person hurt you. That person broke your heart. That person might have molested you. That person might have abused you, right? As a kid. That person might have did this. And you're right. I'm like, see, I know I'm right. He said, but Am I asking you to be right, or am I asking you to be righteous? Which one would you rather be? And y'all, I'm going to be honest, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. It was an easy choice, but it wasn't an easy thing to do. I literally sat there for a second. I said, Lord, I want to be righteous. I want to be righteous. And I give up my rights to hold this person to this forgiveness that I think that they owe to me, when I actually owe it to them and to myself to forgive. And that's all I'm saying to y'all. Like, this is, we're going to talk more about this. I don't want to keep it too long, but y'all, we have to be able to say those words to our accusers, to our abusers, right? To people who have hurt us. Some people, they might have said something to you and they don't even know that you're hurt, that you're holding on to that, right? So judge it accordingly and make sure you're not just offended. And even if you are, same process. You owe me nothing. And I'm going to be real. Some of y'all have unforgiveness against people that you actually love. You can have unforgiveness with a mom that you really, really love. You can have unforgiveness against a brother or sister that you really, really love. What God had to tell me one day is, he said, son, the devil don't care nothing about your love for that person. He will plant a seed right there, a seed of offense, a seed of hurt right there. And you're unable to get past that. Every time you see that person, you'll say hi, but it's fake. You'll do the things, but it'll be fake. So listen, if you're not able to say, Lord, I forgive them. They owe me nothing. They owe me nothing, and mean that with your heart, right? Because it's not easy to do. So I'm not trying to deny your experience. I'm not trying to deny that. Whatever you went through, I believe you went through it. I believe it hurt you. Otherwise, you wouldn't need this talk right now. You wouldn't need this topic right now. However, just as real or more real than your experience is, you need to forgive. Why? Because God's forgiveness is real. And there's a prerequisite there. He wants to forgive you. He wants this thing to not bother you ever again. But you know what? You have to want it more. Because he's waiting with open arms like, I want to forgive you. I want to forgive you. I want to toss that thing as far as the east is from the west. That's scripture, by the way. And I can attest to that is so true. Because I could not be sitting here before you today talking about this, because I battled hatred. I battled, it's a little worse than unforgiveness. I battled hatred. Like, this is how I felt about this person. But now I can say I love that person. And I can see them and, it's all good because God has dealt with my heart. And I was able to say, Lord, they owe me nothing. They owe me nothing. And one of the most beautiful things is when I found out that that person didn't have, or had the reason why the person did the things to me that they did, I felt compassion for them. Amazing, right? I didn't feel like, yeah, but you still shouldn't have blah, 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 blah. No, I was just like, wow. So you saw me in a way that triggered you. Wow. Okay. And you got to understand there's a difference between sympathy and compassion. I wasn't going to go there, but it's a big difference between sympathy and compassion. Sympathy is seeing somebody and feeling sorry for them. Compassion is doing something about it. You know what I did about it? When I heard about that person not having that, I began to pray for that person. I began to pray for that person, not one of those wimpy prayers of, Lord, help them. I prayed for that person that offended me, that did those things to me. I pray for that person the way I want somebody to pray for me. Lord, I want them to please you more than any person's ever pleased you. God, I want them to know you. I want them to walk close with you. Lord, I thank you, Lord, for every great and mighty thing that you have done for that person. I just began to pray for that person the way that I want somebody to pray for me, right? Like not one of them prayers where, on social media, you say you're going through something and people put the praying hands emoji and they ain't praying for you. You know that. They ain't praying at all. So this is all I'm saying, guys. Like, be able to say those hard 4 words. You owe me nothing. You owe me nothing. Mean it with your heart. And I promise you, you'll feel better, but you'll be better because you'll be forgiven. All right? It's Fresh Perspective. And guess what? It's 15 minutes. I'm so proud of myself. 15 minutes. We're going to come back possibly with a part 2. I'm not sure where the Lord going to lead from here, but thank you guys again. If this video bless you, I ask that you do one or two things. Comment. I want to hear from you. Like, share, subscribe for sure, because I want to see you come back. Tell me what you liked about the video. Tell me what you didn't like. Ask some questions, whatever it is. I want us to be able to grow together because I'm still growing. I'm not a guy who has it all together. As my tagline said, I'm a hood dude who God made a good dude. That is the truth. That is the truth. Not perfect by any means. Just growing, and want to help you grow too. All right. Love y'all. We gone.